The health of relationships is really going to revolve around how relationships deal with resistance. And the first thing that we have to understand is that relationships is not supposed to function in resistance. You'll have differences and disagreements. That makes up the relationship. That's a part of it, but not the resistance. So when we show in ourselves that we're not willing to be influenced by each other, that's a resistance. Or when we're constantly opposing certain aspects in the interaction, that's a resistance. We have to move from resistance more to interplay. Relationships revolves around interplay and not resistance. Being able to um, adjust to things in order to make the full picture equal. So, for example, let's just say um, inside of 100, everybody's talking about 50-50, but there's times in a relationship where that scale will switch to 60-40, to 70-30, to 80-20, or whatever it may be. The interplay is acknowledging that and not resisting because the changes that are happening. The interplay understands the whole overall picture, and the overall picture is to keep everything balanced, to keep everything equalized. And so, because sometimes in a relationship, someone might have a stronger suit, right, than the other person, right? A woman might be more strong at creating wealth than her counterpart that might be a man. So, in the area of finances, her influence might be 70% and his is only 30%. But it's fine because the interplay is acknowledging that and is will allow that counterbalance to exist between them, right? So that's something you could think about. A lot of times what happens is we start calculating what we are contributing. And so what begins to happen is that's puts you over into resistance because now you're complaining because you have 30% influence, but you want 70% influence, but yet you don't really embody the capacity to function in that 70% in the area of finances. But yet you're fighting. Now you're in resistance to try to equalize something that's already equalized because she is functioning the capacity of the 70% and you're at the 30%, right? But then there might be another area in life where that might switch, okay? So it might be in the area of health. The man might be very mindful, very insightful on how to keep the relation, keep the family or whatever in a healthy state. So he's gonna have 70% of influence in terms of what they're going to eat, making sure the nutrition that they're getting from their foods versus his counterpart, the woman, which might be in 30%, right? So that's the interplay that we have to tap into. We have to get past these fixated roles because sometimes the roles might not fit the capacity or the energetic makeup of the people that's inside of a relationship. Okay? So just something to think about. We have to move from the resistance more into the interplay aspect of relationships. When we start getting more mindful of the interplay, we'll start seeing relationships have more of a harmonious and more functionality in the reality of the relationship. All right? Hope that makes sense.